How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading whether the price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we did push forward with the crypto market, so we did say there could be a point where we see some correlation. Our VWAP is still bullish and is losing strength though, so I would keep an eye on that. As that VWAP continues to lose strength, our price action may end up breaking away, so that means our gains may not be long lasting. So I would watch that very close. Remember that VWAP controls your momentum and your money flow, so if that VWAP starts breaking down, momentum will weaken, money flow will weaken. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, we are seeing a bit of a push forward from yesterday and a little bit of a retracement today. Watch for a red candle on the next candle, because if we start with red, we could see dominance break away. That would mean our altcoins would just do better than Bitcoin. That could again be positive, because we at some point would like an altcoin season for altcoins to gain against Bitcoin, because Bitcoin ran up with the ETF, but we still haven't seen any ETH ETF hype pump into the altcoin market. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is starting to curl, that VWAP is pulling back, our momentum is pushing forward, and that money flow is strong, so we do look decent here. Over on the total, if we can get this to switch over, we still are in that consolidation range, so remember we broke above this range, tried to hit that golden pocket and got rejected. We are coming back toward that 602 though, so if we break that 602, we could make another attempt of breaking forward. We would want to break forward and hold, because if we do, we would make higher lows with higher highs, and that could set us up to continue forward, providing the highs and lows do not connect. Our stochastic is pulling back, momentum is pushing down, that VWAP is favoring bearish, but starting to round, so keep an eye on that. If it continues forward, we could see that momentum and money flow continue higher. So if we look over at the 1 hour, that VWAP is overall favoring a little more to the bearish side as we get weak highs and break for consistent lows. Watch if we cannot get back above that neutral. If we don't get back above that neutral in the next few candles, we could see that money flow stay in the red, and that would in turn weaken those higher time frames. So I would exercise caution, because if we saw that, we could retrace some gains. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did not get our full breakdown from this kind of consolidation range, that bear flag possibility, so we will delete that. We did come up toward that point in control though, so watch, because we did not break above, so we need to break above and hold if we're going to see that run up toward that value area high to continue making this a higher low with higher highs to potentially give us that bullish continuation. But in this range, if we do get a bullish continuation, we did not fill that lower 57k gap, so that could end up filling later, meaning this run up may not be sustainable. Stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is pushing forward, momentum does want to round up, and that VWAP is trying to gain strength, pushing the money flow toward the neutral. So if that VWAP can gain further strength, momentum could bounce and money flow could go into the green. That would be positive, as that would push us forward. But if that money flow ends up rejecting, remember we have that lower gap. Over on the 1 hour, we are above that 300 EMA. We do have a slight gap below it though, so I would exercise caution if we end up rounding away, breaking our EMA band, filling that gap, and then continuing lower. That's where we could see bearish momentum. However, if we fill that gap and continue further, we could still continue with the higher highs and higher lows to push us up. Right now, this channel is a little straight here, but we broke away, tried to break and kind of make it a little crooked, so they really don't connect too well. You might not be able to want to draw a rising channel. That rising channel, remember, would be a bearish pattern to bring us down. That being said, that's good, because that means this would be a bullish continuation to push us further up. That momentum does want to gain strength. VWAP is favoring bullish and money flows in the green. If that VWAP can get a higher low, we could see momentum and money flow push further, giving higher time frame strength. Again, just watch out for those gaps later. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did break out. We did kind of whipsaw around. We'll cover how the 1 hour looked, but we covered in the 1 hour when we kind of saw the pivot point. So if you would have gotten that notice, you would have acted on it, you could have seen this bounce forward. RSI is pushing forward, stochastic's gaining strength, VWAP is pushing up, and that money flows in the green, so we do look pretty positive here. But on the 1 hour, we did come up near that 250, 300 EMA zone, and we did get rejected. So I would watch, because if we cannot break above and hold, then it's likely we would push down. I would watch for a break of the yellow EMA. If we break that yellow EMA, we have the potential to make lower lows, and then the bears could gain control. That being said, the stochastic does want to round, it is pushing down, RSI is weakening, VWAP and money flow are pulling back, and momentum is rounding. So over on the 1 hour, this candle was like right up against the top of this channel. We said, hey, watch this, if we gain some strength here, we could run up. That VWAP did flip into bullish territory, that would have been your signal to watch, and then hopefully you would have not been greedy, maybe you would have stopped out at each EMA level, or kind of read the market along the way. And if you were reading the market along the way, you could see VWAP was weakening, momentum was rounding, even though we were pushing up, and we did end up breaking down. That is kind of what we're looking for on the Dixie to happen. So I would exercise caution. This could create a rounding top and continue to drop us down. Again, we do want to hold our EMA band to continue further though. If we break that EMA band, that's where we could see lower price action. So over on graph for the daily, we do have a potential rounding bottom. Again, watch for confirmation for a green candle. That green candle should also break that 16,316 with how we're sitting. So if it does, we could push forward, hit that 300 EMA. But if it doesn't, we could round away and still continue to our 14,316. Momentum does want to pull back. VWAP is favoring bearish. Our money flow is pushing up. But if that VWAP stays bearish, it's likely we will continue lower. Over on the 1 hour, we are staying above our EMA band. We did try to break away from it, but now we're snapping back in. This is good. If we can continue forward and see these lower EMAs continue above the higher EMAs, we could gain bullish momentum. If VWAP is favoring bearish, we do need that to break. The bearish favor isn't very strong, so any peak into bullish territory could help it hold. That would push momentum into the bullish territory, keep it sustainable, and that money flow could flip, giving those higher time frames strength. However, keep an eye on that VWAP. If it does end up rejecting and curling away, then we could gain further bearish momentum. So it does look a little more like the bears are trying to hold us, but they're not really holding very strongly. Over on Ankr for the daily, we are pushing up to that 2673. Momentum is breaking down. That VWAP does want to reverse. If that VWAP can hold above neutral, momentum could follow and money flow could stay bullish. But again, watch those lower time frames. We are coming up to that resistance area and struggling to break and hold, kind of going flat. I would watch, because if we can't break through, it's likely we would get a rejection and then push back down. Momentum does have bearish divergence, so does our stochastic. RSI is pushing down. VWAP does want to break neutral. Money flow is bullish, but that VWAP is overall losing strength, so I would watch very close. If we stay in the bearish territory here, momentum and money flow will break. However, if that VWAP does make a higher low here and then we get a higher high after, we can break our resistance area, push to our 300 EMA, and if we can hold above that, that's where we could push to the 2883. So over on XRP for the daily, we do still have our flag scenario. We did push forward. We want to see a break above that 54 and hold soon, because if we do not, we could end up still seeing that breakdown, but we are holding in our bull flag possibility that could take us toward that 80 cents target. Momentum does want to push down, but VWAP is starting to reverse, so watch for that to hold. If it does, momentum could bounce and money flow could still gain some strength. Over on the 1 hour, we are seeing a little bit of a round here, so we could make a little bit of a cup, pull back, make a handle here. This could be a little cup and handle that could try to push us forward. I'd say it would take you around the 56. If we can't break above that and hold, then watch for a rejection, watch for a support off that 54. If we pull back, hit the 54 and bounce, then we could still see higher highs with higher lows and zigzag our way up. Momentum does want to round away, so stochastic is pulling back. That VWAP is breaking bearish. Money flow is starting to hold bearish as well, so keep an eye on that VWAP. If that VWAP stays bearish here, momentum will break down, money flow will stay in the red, and higher time frames would weaken. That would help break this bull flag and possibly give the bears control. So while we are staying in that flag, it's not yet guaranteed to break up. Remember, no pattern's ever guaranteed. There is no crystal ball in trading. If there was, everyone would be rich. But over on ALGO for the daily, we are trying to round up, so that could be positive, making a higher low, so watch for higher highs. If we get a higher high, we would hopefully break above that 15 and hold, possibly toward that 16-18. Our stochastic is pulling back. RSI does want to push forward, VWAP is gaining strength, and that momentum is breaking down. But if that VWAP can break through the neutral and hold, that momentum could reverse, and money flow could still stay bullish. Over on the 1 hour, potential cup and handle here as well. If you want to draw this as your cup, this breakdown and then round forward, possible handle. Watch for a break above that 1276. If we get that and hold, watch for a rejection, pull back to that 1276 after breaking, then you would retest, push forward. That would be where you would want to trade. Remember, on a kind of support line on the pattern, that's where you would want to trade. That would be our neckline, because you can push up, give fake break up, and then pull back and crash. Our stochastic does want to break down. RSI is pushing down. That VWAP is favoring bearish. Momentum is pushing down, and money flow is starting to break into the red. So I would watch that VWAP. If it continues to push down here, momentum and money flow will start to weaken higher time frames, and we could retrace our gains. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I appreciate all of you.